What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Round 1 Back 9 coverage here at the 2022 Waco Annual Charity Open. This is the second stop of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We are here at Brazos Park East. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is Hayden Riccard.
Yeah, back 9. I fully expect this to sink some teeth in. It's going to be tough once you get to those 13 through 16.
Yeah, the wind is going to be switching. We're still in the woods right now, but going to be heading out of it once we hit those 13 through 16, like you said. Let's check in with our card. Thomas Gilbert at -5, 6 in a row.
Impressive.
James Conrad, Bradley Williams, and Luke Humphries all at -4.
I'm glad to see Thomas's putt. I really like it. It's a great putt. He's confident in it, and I like seeing the hot start.
Yeah, definitely getting it going early is going to be the key as we go into hole 10, Hayden.
Let's go to hole 10, 591 feet, par 4. This is a difficult one. It is the 7th difficult hole on the course, and you really just want to land up where this drone is, giving you a good position to attack the pin. It's a tough, long par 4. Thomas opting for the distance driver. Ooh.
Just burning over on it. It does cut roll, and it's going to be tough. There's a lot left there. And this drive, I mean, one of the easier drives for when it comes to par 4s here at the Beast.
You have a decent gap. Just got to miss a couple trees.
Yeah, limiting, maybe going to a fairway driver, trying to limit that left to right movement.
Yeah, that was super beefy finish.
Catches edge and is going to find himself dead center. A good 380 to 450 off the tee. And Luke asked about it during the press conference. No mustache this season.
Yes.
This needs to get down.
That got a good air bounce, kicked it up high, and that's going to be tough.
Yeah, you saw him checking the wind before
possibly
he threw that
going
shot.
Over the top
That's
to get out to the fairway.
Yeah. Bradley going full driver here.
This one getting pushed up as well, but not as high.
Yeah, he's asking for it to flip, and that's the error there that you're going to find is the second shot's going to get really difficult for a lot of our players, all of them except James.
If that just stood up, that would have been great.
Still in the middle of the fairway, outside circle 2, maybe a look to save the birdie, but should be a pretty simple par there for Gilbert.
Seems like Luke has a gap that he's looking at.
Maybe not as deep as we thought.
But I don't think he's going to be able to get out past that corner.
Yeah, he does have more of the approach speed disc in his hand. Oh, switching back to the fairway. Catching one on the way out, slowing it down, but he'll find himself.
He's center cut of the fairway.
Yeah. Bradley has it from a knee as well.
And that's 3 common shots there that if you're off to that left, it's a tough recovery.
Yeah, and James actually the only person on our card able to stand up and throw his second shot. Going to go to the putter here.
Look. Putting it close. No problem.
Yeah, 15 feet left for the birdie here for Conrad on 10. This needs to slow down. Okay, it does. And that wide approach disc that Luke's been throwing there, I mean, he's throwing it backhand, forehand. He has that thing absolutely locked in. As we expected, Thomas with a little bit of a jump putt, but just trying to put it close. Oh. What a great angle control to go jump putt Anheuser, keeping the nose up and almost giving it a run there.
That was close.
Thomas from about 15 to 20 feet here. Keeps the great putting streak going. Yeah, Thomas is a guy who really does have all the skills. One of the most knowledgeable players when it comes to stats. When it comes to
calm.
Oh, the mental game for him is definitely one of his strongest suits. So getting all those things to come together at the same time, I mean, that can happen.
That's the hard part of it, though.
Of course, yeah.
Pairing it up with everything, putting it all together is always the hard part.
I mean, so far, through 10, -5,
it's a great
picking
start.
up 6 in a row on that front 9. If he can get that going again, even if he can do that on the front 9 the next 2 rounds, I mean, he's going to put himself in a great position here at this tournament. Bradley gets par as well. So just the one birdie from Conrad, playing the hole really to perfection. The rest of our cards struggling off the tee, but able to save. And Luke for par.
He's happy about that one. I mean, from where he was, I would be too.
No doubt. As we move into hole 11, another one of these sub 300-foot tight wooded par 3s. This one's going to be kind of an interesting landing zone. You want to land short right about here where the drone is, maybe just outside circle, and have it skip up. Forehand is a common play here, or that higher turning backhand mid-range. But ground play is such an important thing.
What's surprising about this hole is we look at the stats, it was only birdied 27% of the time, and it was parred 63%.
Yeah, it just goes to show how difficult this green can be and how just intentional and precise you have to be where this lands. As Thomas is going to the forehand.
I kind of like this play.
Takes a
Put
lot of trust.
himself more of the right side, skip up that hill.
Yeah, there's that negative
and
skip.
Be at level with the basket.
Wind picking up a little bit here.
And Luke may be trying to follow suit.
Yeah, like what you're saying about the forehand, it kind of hits that negative skip and then carries up the hill compared to the backhand. It can sometimes get away from you on that left side.
It gives you more of a, if you can get up that hill, it gives you more of a level look at the basket. This looks really good. If it can beat it.
Oh, totally different line there.
Just asking for it to beat that tree.
And it can't be stressed enough how cold it is out here. You see all of our players taking off that glove every time. I mean, you see the full-on scarf here from Bradley. And, I mean, we're in Texas. Like, we are in Waco, Texas. And it is...
We've seen it before, though.
Yeah, this is... I think this might be the coldest conditions we have had in a Pro Tour event, as this needs to fade back. Oh, and good little kick there to Circle's Edge. Yeah, maybe Jonesboro last year.
I know it snowed, right?
Yeah.
At one event. What a great putt.
So we rewind this jump putt. Luke Humphries on the pole, outside the circle, uphill. Wow.
If that doesn't show that he's been putting in the work to work on his putting, I don't know what is.
That was an incredible putt. Bradley from a similar distance.
They're standing right next to each other.
Oh,
about
just low.
does it a double.
And James just outside circle as well, but eye level with the basket. And he was just a little bit off on the front 9. He actually found a 3-putt on a very short par 3, and that's going to be in the woods a bit. And the way he comes so low on that putt, going to be pretty obstructed. Good birdie there from Thomas.
Man, that went in there fast.
When that confidence is there, that is on the pole. James having to go to a straddle.
Like you said earlier, this is unlike James to have these missed putts kind of flutter into each other and collect as we keep going into the later holes.
Yeah, and he does putt a very soft plastic, So grip, definitely not going to be an issue in the cold as he does make good for the par save. But
I guess timing is just the biggest thing.
Yeah. He's a world champion. He definitely has some time to correct it as Bradley gets up here to save the par as well.
As we go to hole 12, 609 feet, par 4. And this is a difficult one. Going to want to get around this bend right about where this sandy spot is, maybe push a little bit further with the forehand or turn over backhand, and then push uphill a long ways. It's definitely over 330 plus uphill, and it's a tight gap to get to the green as well.
Thomas going forehand.
Sawed it off just a little too much.
And the wind got under that immediately. Yeah, and the shape of this hole is, forehand does do well here, but it really is more of a flip up, as you can see from Luke. Being on the right side kind of opens up another forehand, but ideally you want to be on the left so you can have more of a straight shot. James going putter, though.
No surprise here, though. It's the unfortunate thing, putting that putter on that angle and hitting that hard compact is going to kick up and roll like it did.
Bradley lining up understable mid-range here.
Ooh, what branch did he hit? Still turns out great, but I think he would have got a lot more distance if he didn't hit that.
Yeah, center cut here, having good footing for your second shot on 12 is something that Thomas is wishing that he had. Still trying to get around the corner. What great touch there. That wasn't even a full throw. That was just a wrist snap.
He can't even see it. It's going to have a straight shot almost to the basket from that.
James with a fairway driver in the hand, able to get a run up. And look at what he's looking at here.
Oh, my gosh.
Left to right, uphill.
Hyzer flip.
Oh, just missing a line out of the hand, asking it to miss it. And we talked about it, as we were going through James' bag. He has such a committed just lineup of fairway drivers that he can work on different angles. And Bradley, one of the same.
That looks fantastic. Scoot on up there.
Inside the circle. What a thing of beauty that line was. Showing off the Texas roots. Gosh, Bradley Williams, what touch.
I did see in a preview of this course where some players chose to do the backhand to a gap and then do the forehand all the way up.
Our players really going to that backhand more, but Luke Humphries.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he spends a lot of time with Kevin Jones, and whenever Kevin Jones
crazy
falls
lines.
Down, yeah, crazy lines. When he hits the ground, something amazing happens. Luke Humphries hitting the ground and
maybe catching some of that juju.
Maybe, I guess, but jeez. Like you're saying, though, the forehand, a lot of people are going to that, but I think to make it all the way up onto the screen,
a long forehand. You have to have the distance with your forehand to do it, and not a lot of players do.
James, after a brutal kick, gets a nice second kick.
Trying to scramble so he can have a jump putt.
And Thomas trying to turn that forehand, catches the last tree. He's been putting incredibly so far, though. I mean, just inside the circle, about 30 feet left, and James from outside circle 2. I think he got past that tree. And actually, Thomas outside the circle here.
Oof. Give it to him. Good solid commit by Bradley. That was beautifully drawn up.
Yeah, the second shot there, that fairway driver was just incredible there from Bradley and able to finish it out. I mean, 51% of the field taking bogey or worse.
The fourth hardest hole. And it shows why.
You got James able to save the bogey. Just a wide array of scores here. And Luke able to spin it in for the birdie as well.
His approach from where he was fantastic.
I mean, if you can stand behind Bradley Williams and watch him throw his approach shot and then go, oh, I could do that, which not many people can. But Luke Humphries being one of those that has that backhand, just late turning shot in his bag. So we move into hole 13, par 4, 555 feet. We are heading into the headwind. We're out of the woods for quite some time here. And this is a difficult one. You're going to see a lot of our players here throw overstable, just try to get through the first couple of trees, fade left, and set up for a really open approach. Coming in middle of the pack for difficulty just because of the wind here. Some players, as Luke goes to the forehand here, just trying to flex something, get all the way down there. Low out of the hand, but
massive skip. He's going to be happy with that one, that it took off that much distance with that skip.
It hits the ground and he just yells, "It's beef." Bradley, the more common backhand line here.
This looks really good. You just want to set yourself up here. That's what the ideal of laying up here.
Yeah, and in previous years when the wind wasn't so brutal, we even saw players go to a backhand roller.
Yes.
Try to hit the ground right on the edge of that hill and curl up. But the out of bounds not coming in too much unless you go really long with the approach or take a mean kick. James getting over on this one perfectly, full flight. Oh. And that was almost moving into circle 2 range if that would have continued.
It was coming close.
Oh, and not able to catch edge there. Thomas just short on the hill, but should be a pretty easy approach here for most of our players. Although Luke going to the driver again, forehand, still a lot left, able to cut through the wind.
I was supposed to say with a headwind there, and that just flipped up.
Hit the tree and
wow.
Tough.
I mean, this is full headwind.
Completely. This round was earlier in the day, so the conditions not as bad on this hole, but you can still see.
I mean, look at the flag ripping on top of the basket.
And as the day continued on, I mean, we're probably around noon or so, maybe a little bit later as this is happening. This is such a good forehand to circle's edge there from Thomas. But look at the wind.
Oh.
Pick it up and roll it.
Back outside of circle 1.
Oh, my gosh. That's... Wow. Unfortunate. Oh, James catching the last one. Going to leave him outside circle as well. And with how much wind is on this green, those putts are...
They're going to get tough.
Luke just putting this close. That'll be a tap-in par for him. Kind of the first errant drives we've seen out of Luke so far. He went going forehand just a little bit off. You can see that headwind. Oh.
It's touchy when you have a putt like that from James to get the right angle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Not able to get the fade on the putt there. Thomas just a little bit off. Really the first putt I feel like we've missed. This right to left is brutal.
Yeah,
what do you...
His reactions there is exactly what I would do.
Yeah. Just, well, I mean...
Lift up, maybe?
Yeah, that's one of those ones you kind of just put a little bit behind it, hoping the wind is going to pick it up, but James makes
Not
good
too
for the
much.
par. Luke for par here as well, but goodness.
Even these 10-footers are scary.
And you expect this kind of wind when we get to Kansas. You know, like that's known, those kind of Midwest. But here in Waco, this is... It's
hit or
unheard of.
miss. I think it's just wrong timing.
Yeah.
So we go to hole 14, par 3, 303 feet. Pretty simple hole. Just trying to get out the triple Mando and put it close. You got these rocks backdropping it. It can help you if you go a little bit long.
Yeah, just 300 feet. We are going into this headwind, so a lot of these shots can kind of turn too much and find the out of bounds. Just needs to slow down. Oh! Almost ringing it up as we're going to get a look here at Luke Humphries' forehand. Hayden, talk us through this.
He's got a long stretch on his last plant foot.
And his right knee almost scraping the ground, keeping it so
Very
low.
interesting form for his forehand.
And it's working.
This needs to drop.
Headwind keeping it up. Yeah.
Inside circle.
This one getting away from James a little bit.
Not too much. Oh, yeah. Was able to jump over the rock.
Yeah, finding that late stability. Thomas going to the forehand here. That was a good tree, but
stays in bounds, but
world. Almost going out of bounds to then cut rolling.
Gosh,
probably over 100 feet backwards and to the right.
That's something you don't expect on a hole this short.
No. But the way the wind is playing, it's still not over yet. You can see his pants ripping in the wind.
Great correction. And this hole, I mean, 23% above par. So it can get difficult if you're not careful.
Yeah, an average just a little bit above par. I mean, coming in as the sixth most difficult hole, which you just don't really expect with,
No.
I mean, this stretch of holes that we're in, like this
It's
13 through
definitely
16.
the wind.
Oh, 100%. And it is a straight headwind on holes that are open and holes that have a lot of out of bounds, as Thomas makes good for the par. Just the worst stretch of the course that could have this much wind. Bradley taking his time even on this 15-footer.
See a little stutter there. It's like, wait,
Hit
okay,
the chains,
it's good.
but is it going to fall into the basket or is it going to get blown
Backwards.
30 feet away? And Luke, after a near ace run, having to go rock climbing to hit the birdie here.
No problem for Luke.
7 down. Really, you know, only person on the card here that's really taken advantage on this back nine so far. I mean, he's 3 down through 4 here on the back nine. James as well for the birdie.
The crowd was so spectacular today. Just the energy from you all was just amazing. I love you, Oregon!
On to hole 15. A new change here. Nothing changed with the distance, with the tee pad, with the basket, but what did change was the par. We are back to a par 3 on a 558-foot hole. Out of bounds left, out of bounds right, and a lot of obstructions through the middle with, at this point, 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts, and this needs to come back out of Luke Humphries' hand. And it did.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
This is a tough hole. I mean, switching
with
up
no
the par,
wind.
this
is a tough hole.
Break it. Yeah. Even as a par 4, it was a tough hole.
Yeah.
But now you take it to a par 3 with wind, and it just becomes brutal.
And James
This
getting
looks
all of this.
really good from James. And that's where you want to lay up just before that fence. Give you a good look at the approach towards the green.
Yeah, make sure your footing doesn't get weird. We've seen players in past years almost have to straddle this kind of area.
Over the fence.
But again, I mean, a hole that there were people getting an eagle on it. It wasn't incredibly common.
No,
but it definitely happened.
You got to have the arm.
What a wind read here. Just
that was great.
Yep.
You got to have the arm to get the eagle, though.
Oh, of course. If this is tailwind, though, for sure you're able to go for it.
Oh, no doubt.
You'll see maybe some forehands over the road, but today you're just trying to get in bounds. Walking away with the 3 here, as this is coming in as the hardest hole on the course.
Talk us about how this played, how many points over.
We're looking at a stroke and a half over par.
1% got below par.
So we're going to find out if our card has the 1% in them. Going to have to be from a throw-in.
What is that kick off the fence? I think that's the best kick I've seen off that fence.
Oh, my gosh. Do you remember back in the day, you had like FIFA Street, NBA Street, and you would like
you can
jump off the walls and
yeah.
stuff? That was on that level of off the grate.
Look where Luke landed.
He must have fought through the fence.
Something.
Or hit it and dropped down. I mean, still a lot left here. Probably 300 to the pin. Out early.
Just needs to get
Hits
down.
the fence again, I believe.
Yeah, you can hear Luke there saying, I'm going to take a 4.
Great shot there from Bradley, fighting through the wind, putting himself to just at circle's edge. Thomas having to step out.
Wow. I was impressed it went under that tree right in front of him.
James getting far enough down the fairway, able to go to this overstable approach disc. And you can see after the disc hitting the ground, it coming backwards due to how much wind we're facing here.
No questions with that putt. Oh, Thomas. He knows it.
Similar distance here for Bradley. Just low as well. I mean, how much headwind do you have here?
Fist bump.
Yeah. Complete opposite wind here for James.
Oh.
And just a little bit off in the frustration. A rare thing out of Conrad, but calming back down. making the putt there for the bogey. Hayden, 83% of our field over par on this hole. And how many double bogeys, triple bogey percentage are we looking at?
Double bogeys, we're looking at 34%.
So over a third of the
Yes.
field took
And then
double bogey.
Triple bogey, you're looking at 18%, almost 20% of the field.
My goodness. Take us into hole 16.
So we go to hole 16, 609 feet, par 4, open, big shot here. Wind's going to come into play, just trying to get into a safe spot to lay up and then approach the basket. This is a full commit with a big driver. Trying to take off as much distance as they can, but knowing that they have time to work towards the basket.
The headwind continues with the direction that we're going towards. So going to be some overstable discs out of the hand here. James with a huge run up.
A little bit too much turn. It's going to burn into the grass.
And there's a lot left there. I mean, that hit early. You're probably looking at a good 350 plus left.
Oh,
And that goes to show the wind that we're dealing with here. That is an incredibly overstable driver out of the hand from Bradley.
they got pushed.
Not incredibly, but I mean, it's
They got
one of the
pushed
most
down.
overstable drivers in his bag.
Good Lord.
See the guy in the background with the
Tying up his hoodie.
yeah, kid in a blanket, trying to fight through the wind. Thomas.
You see the resistance that it had on his follow through?
This is a great shot. Expecting the disc to turn, so using that left to right movement. Great shot there from Thomas. This needs to turn. Oh.
It's
if-
the dead tree.
If that tree would have been broken a foot lower, Bradley Williams is inside the circle, but gonna have to settle for the par. James from a similar distance.
And James just ended up a little bit short. Height there was a key, getting through those trees right there.
Slipping on his disc there, maybe pulling a little bit over on it.
But no problem at all getting there.
Absolutely perfect. Luke Humphries has got a great round going here. 6 down. Looking to make it 7.
Oh, the air
Look at
bounce.
the wind. Slows down in perfect timing.
Dang.
I mean, you can't predict what's going to happen here. I mean, you're throwing overstable
no.
disc, trying
You're
to
just
hope.
hoping to match it and
Yeah.
okay, just be nice today.
It's not going to be nice today. It's just how much going to have here. Is it Bradley's going low ceiling, skip shot. What a
The touch to know how much to give.
to even go for that shot with the OB behind and the headwind, the chance that could stand up. I mean, goodness. James holding on maybe a little bit too long.
I'm surprised he didn't jump putt from that range.
I guess with the wind, knowing that he was going to have to put it pretty high up. And again, just
It's uncharacteristic.
It
I
really
think,
is.
from James. I think he's just got to find his rhythm. He's off today. Maybe tomorrow brings a better James putting.
yeah, and tonight, is bringing a lot of putting around the practice basket
doubt.
for Conrad. But at the same time, the conditions are insane, and maybe taking a
Maybe
rest.
that's, yeah, I was gonna say maybe that's just playing into his mental of putting.
Thomas Gilbert definitely has had a great showing with the putter
Yes,
today.
he has.
Getting the birdie here, taking him to -4, bringing him back into the top 10 through 16. Luke Humphries as well. Finds the birdie. Bradley, as he's putting, leaning over, you see his jacket fill up with air there coming through. Unfortunate bogey there for James. Again, just that putter a little bit off as we move into an incredibly difficult hole, especially with this wind. Hole 17, par 4, 610 feet. You're going to throw overstable disc out to the left or maybe on a forehand, and then you have one of the most iconic holes in Texas.
No doubt.
This green, if you don't get far enough down the fairway, you're going to be approaching this blind with the water. So many things can go wrong. Big numbers here. If you can climb the hill and have a look down at it. Luke does just that, but
it's still a tough approach to that green. It's so hard. This came out to the 5th difficult hole this round.
Thomas taking it incredibly wide here.
Maybe going for... Oh!
Hitting the covering, ramping off of it, and that's a great spot to be.
I mean, it's going to be a long look, but you're going to have an option to go forehand or backhand.
And Bradley going backhand mid-range here off the tee, just putting himself in a good position.
I like this play.
Sliding it up. Wow. After two of our players go overstable fairway driver or driver forehand, we see Bradley and James disc down to mid-ranges.
Tit for tat.
Yeah. They hit each other's discs there. That's just, I mean, two of the best backhand mid-range throwers there. And this needs to come back. Going to be out of bounds here for Gilbert. And he'll be just outside the circle. Kind of a tailwind here. So maybe par still on the table. But forehand really the only way to approach this.
It's pretty sketchy.
Bradley as well.
Oh, what is...
That wind's just taking a
Negative
skip.
It's unfortunate.
James with a putter in hand. After watching all the other players' forehands not work out, James says, I don't need a forehand. I'm going to put it 20 feet away. What just the confidence you have to have to approach that
disc, yes.
James Conrad has it. So we finally get to Luke Humphries' drive.
Oh, no. Okay, well, he got through somehow.
And I stand corrected. The spot that Thomas has come to is a lot further out than I thought.
Well, he never crossed back in.
True.
Oh, do it.
Oh. We did see, I mean, to come back and really put the pressure on to seal the win was the putt from Nico.
Yes.
With an overstable mid-range.
That
last year
was a highlight.
One of the highlights of the entire tour last year on here on 17. So, Bradley here to save just high.
Over the shoulders, fine, PJ.
And the difficulty of this approach as James is lining up the putt here, only 20% of the field. So a fifth of our players here and the 120 people at Waco were able to make it into Circle 1.
Ooh, and James sneaks ones over the bands there.
I mean, that just shows the difficulty of this approach.
Oh, man.
On a par 4 to only
and
have
James
20%.
Needed that.
Oh, yeah. 100% he did, but to get...
A little bit of confidence boost going into 18.
Exactly. And going into tomorrow.
Yes.
I mean, you can see going birdie, bogey, bogey, birdie. I mean, going even these past couple holes is James, and really staying even this entire back nine as Bradley drops a bogey as well.
Let's go into the final hole, hole 18, 468, iconic over the water shot. We've seen some crazy throws for this one. As this one gets textbook, I mean, it's distance, but you need to lay it up in that certain area where you can skip up and just be next to the basket.
Yeah, and with the wind, we've even seen people go out of bounds right.
Yes, we have. In practice runs, we saw a couple people throw putters.
Yeah, Simon Lazat.
But that was just that was not a lot of wind.
Right. Most of our players going to go over stable driver here.
This needs to get down.
No, it needs to go further.
Yeah, hit inbound, so he's good to touch from the other side.
Just outside the circle to save the par.
You really got to go wide if you're going with a stable disc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you want to play
This
for par
looks
here,
really good.
you can go so far out wide, but no need to play for par when you put it inside the circle.
I feel like this plays further than 468.
I mean, the most open hole on the course, no trees in the way.
And it's carrying all over water.
Yeah, I mean, it's 450 feet over water, a little bit less if you go directly at it. This needs to flip up.
It just needs to get down.
Oh, and it makes it across.
So we go to Thomas's form here. Big step in between. Look at that reach back.
And the interesting thing with his form, he has a very long distance on the tee pad.
Yes.
But his second step, that X step, is actually
so
quite
tight.
small.
It's so tight.
Getting those
The
hips
gap
in the
between
right
there.
spot, getting those feet out in front, and being able to just pull right over the knee, using every bit of his power. But yeah, very unique to see a small second step there. Bradley more of an understable disc. Dropping.
Oh, man. This is parked.
He's done it all around. The wind reads from Bradley have been impeccable, and that is what a way to put it close on 18.
Sit.
Sit down. No way. That's just wrong.
No.
Low
That's
out of the
what-
hand, and the wind being here on the edge. I mean,
That's why they put the basket here. Because that can happen.
that's why they shouldn't put the basket there, is what Thomas Gilbert's thinking. Dang,
Yes, of course.
that's so unfortunate. And the wind picking back up. Such a strong right to left.
And this is coming in as the second most difficult hole. 56% was above par. Oh, give it to him.
What a crazy line out of the hand there for James. Taking an overstable approach disc to putt that with the wind.
Nice, Thomas.
There you go. Able to card the bogey.
A tough couple holes here for Gilbert to close out the round. To go six
It's just
in a row.
I think it's just some unforced errors
Yeah.
that happen.
But Luke to capitalize on a great round.
Yeah, if he makes this, it'll put him at 8 under.
And he does.
Wow.
Ties
Good
him
round.
for the lead.
Good round today. And this is what I wanted to see out of him coming into this tournament, is that consistency from LVC.
Yeah, the
And carry it
momentum he
over.
took over.
Mm-hmm. And he's also coming off a win.
Mm-hmm. It was a B tier
He's
here
a B
in
tier
Texas.
here in Texas.
Yeah.
Which is good. Gives you
Yeah.
some confidence going in.
Let's not skip over Bradley Williams' absolute
No.
park
Oh,
job, though.
that was
to finish it off,
fantastic.
taking him to -4. So we check in with our cards leaderboard after round one. Luke Humphries, -8, tied for
One
first.
bogey on the back nine.
Incredible. A couple of bogeys here, even doubles for the rest of our card. Kind of just a little bit off pace on the back nine, but with the wind, let's check in with our overall leaderboard. Paul
Yeah.
Macbeth.
Three-way tie for first.
Yep, and close behind Andrew Fish, a native up into the northeast.
Yes.
Excited to see him on tour a good amount this year. But our card tomorrow, we're going to have some new faces.
Yes, we are. It's going to be exciting. And round one's done. Hopefully we get some better weather tomorrow. We'll find out.
Yeah, we're definitely going to find out, but be sure to like and subscribe here at Gatekeeper Media. It's been a joy to be here in Waco. Not what we expected when you're coming to Texas.
No, not at all.
Yeah, our players able to battle it well. Shout out to Luke making on the lead card tomorrow. But my name has been Mitch Phillips.
And I've been Hayden Riccard.
And we will see you for round 2 here so soon in Waco for the Waco Annual Charity Open.